Sirslim's Warlock has been banned away. That's an even Warlock. Then he's got Odd Paladin, Token Druid, and Death Rattle Hunter. And Frid's Druid has been banned away, and then he is left with an even Shaman, an even Warlock, and a Death Rattle Hunter as well.
You were saying you gave a fairly... I know, I felt you didn't give your brother enough credit there in that when he is competitive, he is competitive,
He's
right?
a good player.
Like,
so
you were talking to him a week ago when I was casting another event with you, and it's like, hey, little brother, have you done any work for Dreamhack yet? And actually, he had done quite a bit of work for Dreamhack. You can go full-on panic mode, and it is going to be the Paladin versus the Shaman. You go tap Admirable in.
Tap.
Just tag team, like... Nathan, come talk for a moment about anything.
All right, Odd Paladin versus Even Shaman, I do think is slightly Odd Paladin favored, more so if the Odd Paladin is on the play versus being on the coin. Both of these decks just benefit heavily from going first. So fact of the matter is, Sirslim's going first, gives him a good shot here.
Yeah, not a fantastic looking hand for him, but it can improve with that Corridor Creeper. And this deck does improve fast as it goes. Boisterous Bard in his deck.
He does have a single teched copy of the Boisterous Bard. He was expecting to see a lot of Odd Paladin at this tournament, so Boisterous Bard just gives you that little bit of an edge in the mirror that he was going for. Other than that, nothing unusual about the deck. One copy of Void Ripper, one copy of Divine Favor, pretty standard. The Shaman from Frid, one Scalehide, one Ooze, one Primal Fin, one Nimbus. It's quite a few one-ups. Then the rest of the deck is quite standard.
And already being put to the test here as to how he wants to make sure that he gets more things on board than his opponent. I talk about things a lot when it comes to aggro on aggro, but really until somebody manages to land a big minion, it is just about who can get the most things out there.
This matchup for the Even Shaman oftentimes comes down to that mid-game. Can you stick a 2-drop? The 4-drops are especially important because Sarnite and Corpse Taker can soak up so much damage. And then can you survive until you get to Hagatha or Kalamos to clear a board?
Frid thinking of hero powering here. His options are all horrible looking, but...
He's going to coin into a 4-drop no matter what.
Yes.
The Primal Fin Totem is just 2 mana, heal 3 damage, essentially.
Well, it does trade one of the 1/1s off as well, which is something, and... You know, when you're dealing in how many things you can make survive, I think this is okay. It slows things down. It does give you a 1/1. That's the important part of the play. If your hero power was a guaranteed 1/1, you'd probably have done that instead, but it's not. And when are you playing this Primal Fin? This game's over in 6 or 7 turns.
Yep.
You might as well get the 1/1 out of it. It's not good. It's not fun. You don't want to do it, but I think it's the right play.
So Sirslim considering the Boisterous Bard here, which would save a recruit on the board when trading into the Primal Fin. When playing this Paladin deck, I'm of the mindset that every turn that you can hit that hero power button, you probably should, and the Acarus gives him an excuse to do that.
Yes.
I think this is fine as well. I think I would have liked Acarus Veteran hero power there.
I think this is okay. Again, for the same reason that Frid wanted the 1/1, Sirslim wants the 1/1 not to die. I mean, what's Frid supposed to do here? He's not got very good ways of removing multiple minions. Obviously, Chain Gang will be a decent thing to have on the board.
The Bard checks the Corpse Taker, which is something that I overlooked. Can't just play Corpse Taker on turn 3 with the coin, because then the 1/1 plus the Bard go over, and then Sirslim has 4 free mana to play around with.
And
Sirslim really needs to find level up as fast as possible.
He does. Even a Fungalmancer would be fine. He does have this Corridor Creeper, which I think is going to be a big deal. Question as to whether he wants to be greedy with that and eventually save 3 mana, which will slow him down in the short term, but I think a Stonehill might be fine here.
I do think... So there's merits to going face and there's merits to trading. Trading discounts your Corridor Creeper, and you get to play it this turn. Which I think significantly weighs this in favor of trading.
Yep.
Going face deals damage. Oh, that's a Sunkeeper Terram.
Right, that's level up, kind of.
Level up and level down for the opponent's minions. You can see Sirslim not snap picking there.
Just the bluff. He wasn't actually thinking there. He was just... the fact he hovered over them all was sort of the giveaway as to the fact he's not actually thinking.
Yeah.
Because who does that?
You generally go between 1 and 2. But
or you just sit there and look at it and stare and concentrate.
Yeah.
He was just like killing time, which is good.
This is still a really nice setup for that Sunkeeper Tarim. And the Raid Leader allows a clean trade from the Acaris into the Corpse Taker as well.
Yeah, this looks really nice for Sirslim. This is the sort of thing he learned, I think, from that other performance that we saw. Just to take his time in these situations where, on ladder, he's already played this turn.
Yes.
This is the sort of thing he picked up on.
And I do think a lot of what we saw in Dreamhack Atlanta last year is the direct result of Sirslim being primarily an arena player.
Yeah.
And arena play is very defensive.
Under pressure, he defaulted to trading a lot.
He did.
I suspect he didn't trade like that all day, or he wouldn't have made top 8, top 16. I suspect he just did it. When the pressure came on, you go back to your roots. And if your roots are arena, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, you play awfully defensively. I've not seen Frid really play ever. I've heard him talk about the game, and he speaks very intelligently about the game. It certainly seems like he knows what he's doing, but I've not seen him pilot.
I seem to remember he talks about himself very modestly.
He is a very modest guy.
You can never tell if someone like that is good or not because they sort of put themselves down so much.
There's kind of the difference between Frid and Sirslim. Frid's here to have fun.
Yeah.
Frid is here with probably not a lot of expectation. Sirslim has expectations. Even though he doesn't play very much, he can be quite hard on himself. And he certainly came here to win. Which is something that, you know, as a big sister, you try to tell him you're just here to have fun, enjoy it while you can, live it, but...
Tell him to win, damn it.
He beats himself up. You want to be able to bounce back from those losses too, you know?
Yeah,
it's the best players that don't give up when they lose. Even the best players lose 40% of the time.
Pressure him. Torment him.
No.
Be nasty.
I can't. It's my only sibling. Mom and Dad would hate it. This is not a great Sunkeeper Tarim. It just makes the minions on Frid's side bigger.
Yeah.
And it's still several turns away from Kalamos or Hagatha, meaning that this board is not really going anywhere.
He's going to tower him now, though, by the look of it. Now he's got rid of the trades.
Okay.
I mean, it is a 4-7 or a 3-7.
Yeah. This is 24 power on board.
Yeah, it's a lot. And looking good for a 1-0 lead here for Sirslim.
The most that Frid can take off the board is 4. That leaves 20. And that is going to be 1-0 up for Sirslim. Getting a win with that Paladin. And that leaves Frid with the opportunity to attempt to counter. And he does have an even Warlock in his lineup. I would expect we see that coming out next.
Yeah, with Defile and Hellfire and stuff, it can make life tough for the Paladin. It's not the one-way street that some people have you believe, I don't think. But obviously it is a favourable matchup, big time for the Warlock. A couple of big names going 4-0. Gallon is back up there again. He seems to do really well in last hero standing in particular. Sort of not had the best time at playoffs, but when he's up against this sort of field, he seems to do incredibly well. Swaggy G's up there again. Those two are the big names on 4-0s already. Scintillon, as we saw on stream. Flame Killer, who I don't know much about, is 12-0 in games.
That is impressive.
That's a lot of games in a row. And this is the first game that Frid has lost in this tournament. Let's see how he copes with actually being 1-0 down.
9-0 so far in the tournament. Now 9-1 for Frid. Sirslim going to be able to bring back out this Paladin, and Frid has a very nice matchup coming up with that even Warlock. I would expect that should be able to find a win, barring Purifier's Maul shenanigans. Usually that's the way that the Paladin can stick a board and capitalize on it. But Hellfire and Defile, the Warlock draws so much that they're going to find those cards, and then those cards are just so good. Sometimes the Warlock finds it runs out of answers. Like it'll kill a board and it'll get reloaded, and then kill a board, and get reloaded. It's possible. And then you get like Corridor Creepers and Leroys in your face. This looks like a nice set of cards to have to choose from for Frid, though. I think you pitch the Sun Fury, and then I'm not mad about keeping the other two. Keep the Hellfire, and then the Beetle. I suspect you keep it. It's some early board presence. The little bit of armor's helpful. Very, very helpful for Frid that he is on the play here instead of on the coin. He gets to tap first, and more importantly, Sirslim doesn't get to develop a minion, and then immediately the next turn go, well, in this case, Firefly, Flame Elemental, Blessing of Might to hit for 4 on turn 2. Dread Infernal's a big deal here as well, because it looks like Frid is going to get to turn 6 intact, and then just stops any potential super reloads. But I like the hand that Sirslim has here, in that
it's not a dump stand. It's got lots of sort of minions with actual health totals or divine shields, etc. May even choose to just start attacking with Blessing and Might in some situations straight from the off. Yeah, he's not going to muck about. He's going to get as much down there before Hellfires and things can do their thing as possible. And this is where that plated beetle is just going to be a real nuisance.
He's going to try to rely on the Righteous Protector to protect whatever he puts this Blessing of Might on. There is also some merit to just pressing the button, though.
Yeah, he has the option of Righteous Protector, Blessing and Might, and hope my opponent doesn't have Defile, but I think he 3-kept.
He did.
Which may put Sirslim off that maneuver, because one of those cards could easily be Defile, and that's why we see the button press. If there'd been a 0 keep, we may have seen Righteous Protector, Blessing and Might, one of the other things, and just launch to the face.
Well, there is the Defile. Frid doesn't want to play it yet because it's simply not good enough, and it would kill his beetle.
Yeah, Frid now, the decisions he has to make over the next few turns is you don't want to be very greedy with your removal here, but if you're not a little bit greedy, things can go wrong. So use your minions for removal while you can. Force Slim to go a little bit wider and get a little bit more value than is currently available.
Both Defile and Hellfire available for Frid, as well as the Twilight Drake, which can come down next turn. And then on top of that, double Spellstone that's going to be upgraded from the Hellfire. So Sirslim's going to have a really hard time sticking a board here or dealing burst damage from hand to end the game, because Frid's just not going to let himself get down that low.
Yeah, as long as Frid is suitably sensible with his hand, I don't see it going very wrong. When you get this opener as well as the even lock, you have enough health that you can draw even more stuff. Sometimes you get locked, so you can't really tap that much because you're so low on health, but because he's resisted the early waves, now he will be able to just draw a little bit more than he might otherwise do. This hand is just everything you could want.
It's phenomenal.
The light protects me.
That's kind of the matchup. It's heavily Warlock favored.
It is. But again, sometimes you watch it and you wouldn't believe it. Sometimes you just see the Paladin absolutely stomp them and you're like, how is that favored?
This is a situation where
I got this.
the only real way I could see Frid losing is to a Purifier's Maul.
Yeah.
You don't want to be too greedy with your removal, but you do need to be greedy to an extent, otherwise situations like you described where the Warlock gets run out of removal might happen.
Yeah, I think I like the way Frid's playing this. He's trying to be, again, just conservative with that removal. He's not scared of using it. He's even hovering over thinking about using it, but use your minions up, get him out of the way. At some point you do have to generate a threat, otherwise the Paladin just keeps coming at you.
Yeah. This is correct, though, from Frid. Get that Drake down.
Now those Righteous Protector options look like a thing that maybe Sirslim will be interested in. He may have to just take his life in his hands here. Hope there's no removal. Righteous Protect, Blessing and Might start doing some damage.
Yeah.
It's not good and it's not going to work, but all the other options seem to lead to a slow death to me.
When you know that you can't beat Defile, you simply can't play around Defile.
Yeah. And he's got to decide, if there's a Defile, can I beat it with my reload?
The reload's not bad. I mean, if there's no ooze, there's still a Vine Cleaver. And the Fungalmancer's a nice pickup as well.
Oh, he's going to get rid of his...
He's going to... It looks like he's going to try to play around Defile.
Yeah.
But with the Twilight Drake on board, there's only so much you can do. It can bump off a shield, and then Defile can still take place.
Is it just going to be Corridor Creep for Blessing and Might and just, hey...
Nah, he just wants the Sun Fury off the board.
All right.
I mean...
You've got to go for it. You've gone this far, I think you have to go all in now. And yeah, he's going to go for it. I think he couldn't quite get his decision which way he was going till halfway through the turn there, so he made sort of plays which left him with a last-second decision, and I think this is
like
the right
the Blessing
way
there. I think the Blessing's good. Obviously, this is just an easy Defile, run the Drake into the Corridor Creeper and clear.
But if your opponent only has Hellfire and doesn't have Defile, actually you get another 4 in, you do 3 from the Drake, you're okay.
And this is good against Hellfire, bad against Defile, but nothing's going to be good against Defile.
Yeah, there's cards you can't beat, and that's one of them.
So Defile is played. Sirslim now has to try and reload and assume that there's no longer a Defile present.
So his next plan is to plan for the level up Vine Cleaver combo. He's got half of that in his hand and get into some sort of sensible position going into that turn 8 where he'll be swinging with the Vine Cleaver for the second time, hopefully for him with level up in hand. And after that it all becomes a bit of a long shot because, as you can see, Frid has the luxury now of being able to develop minions without worrying about removal. He can also just play the Infernal if he wants to. He can do what he likes in this situation.
Frid's going to get below 15 soon and be able to play the Hooked Reaver. There's no silence in the deck for Sirslim, so there's no real way to get through that without going through it the hard way. Shy of a... No, there's the Vine Cleaver now,
just
too.
in case the Vine Cleaver was going to get anything done.
If Sirslim could see this hand, he'd be out of this game so fast.
Yeah, come on, Frid, stop it. He's already dead.
This is just, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, I'd like to see this 4 go face on this occasion. That
I like that.
Flame Elemental's not doing anything at this point. Or Firefly, whatever. Well, there's the Purifier's Maw you were talking about, but
yeah.
Is it too late? Now the buffs have gone.
So Hero Power Purifier's Maul. Kill the Vulgar Homunculus, kill the Twilight Drake. You're left with a 1/1 and 2 1/1s with Divine Shield.
Okay. I guess it's a thing you have to do. You've got Fungal Mancer the turn after.
Maybe this baits the Acidic Swamp Ooze and then Vine Cleaver can stick.
Yeah.
Then if Sirslim can find a Stonehill Defender into another Sunkeeper Terram, maybe that's enough.
Yeah, Frid looking pretty good right now. He's looking at maybe just even playing the Hooked Reaver here.
I like the tap Hooked Reaver, and he doesn't have to ooze. I think I would like for him to hold the ooze here as a nod to Vine Cleaver.
Yeah, I agree. Easy for us to say because we can see the hand, and the Swamp Ooze does occupy the board to some extent as well, but I'd like to see him hold it too. I think Vine Cleaver's one of the conditions that Sirslim has to have for it to have any chance of losing this game. Level up being the other.
But Frid tapping right down to 15.
He doesn't like it, but he is weighing up, well, it is another body on board. He's running, he's not low on removal, but an extra body is an extra body at the end of the day. And also if he plays it and your opponent plays Vine Cleaver, well, they're not actually killing your 7/7, but he does hold back.
Sirslim can kill the Hooked... Whoa, second Fear of Fire's Maul.
Interesting now.
Oh, that's really good.
Now he can do the fungal bumpity bump and then just make more Divine Shields. Amongst other options.
Well, he's only got 7 this turn, so he would have to fungal bump bump, kill with the Maul, you take 7, and Hero Power.
Frid is still hovering over his own Swamp Ooze, wondering, should I have or shouldn't I have?
Well, by not playing it, he's sacrificing the Hooked Reaver, but the Hooked Reaver's connecting to face. So this is 7 going in. Sirslim then goes down to 17. Or 16. And then there's 6 additional, which puts him to 10. Not quite representing lethal, but getting close for Frid.
Yeah, that is... Here's a turn for you.
Whoa.
I like playing Hellfire and then playing the Hooked Reaver, Cora. What do you like?
Yes, I think that's fantastic.
It's like the most straightforward play available, and it just sets up 2-turn lethal.
Plus, Frid's also got 14 life gain in hand.
Yeah.
The double Purifier's Maul gave Sirslim the best chance of winning this game that I think he had, but they needed to come a little bit earlier.
Yeah, there's no shenanigans here available.
Nah, can't get through it. That's going to be game 2.
1 game all.
The battle is over.
All right, Frid with the Even Warlock ties things up, taking out the Odd Paladin from Sirslim. And that leaves Sirslim with the Hunter and the Token Druid against Even Warlock. He's going to bring out the Hunter here. Token Druid against Even Warlock is quite bad because of Defile yet again. And it does look like that's what Frid was considering when he chose to ban the Even Warlock instead of the Token Druid, which traditionally is the ban from this lineup of Sirslim.
Frid looking a little bit nervous there, considering, again, he is used to casting and such like, to many people. Sirslim looking pretty professional to me these days.
If he would just trim his beard a little. Buy a new shirt.
Is this the sort of feedback you give him as a pro player?
Yes,
What
buy
deck should I
a new
play?
shirt,
Trim
dang
beard.
it.
New shirt needed. I like the shirt. I think he's doing
All right.
well.
Hunter versus Even Warlock. Frid's Shaman has been defeated, by the way, so apologies for that little issue with the graphic there. It is 1-to-1.
He's got some very difficult decisions to make here, has Frid, because all 4 of these cards are cards you could keep, but you can't keep all 4 of them because they don't have any sort of synergy going on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you keep at least 1 Spellbreaker here.
Yes.
I actually don't mind keeping a Twilight Drake as well, personally, but...
If there is a Devilsaur Egg on turn 3, the Spellbreaker is the perfect answer.
We have turned
Always
our
nice to have a
thirst
copy of it.
into our strength.
Hunter is slightly favored in this matchup. You saw Sirslim holding on to the Spider Bomb because that's his answer to an early Twilight Drake or Giant.
Yeah. And he does have that early game with the Spider Bombs or early game defense. Flanking Strike's always tasty, and of course, Katharina in hand. It is just such a great card in this deck.
It's phenomenal. Frid having kept the Spellbreaker and not the Twilight Drake.
Yeah.
Still has not found, never mind.
Not that card.
Quite happy to have that card.
Never mind.
Never mind.
And because Sirslim has double Spider Bomb available, I think he's fine to just throw one out there here.
I agree.
And
It may trigger a coin Spellbreaker from Frid,
Uh-huh.
or even just a 2-drop to try and challenge it.
Or maybe he just draws another Giant.
Holy Toledo. Sirslim can magnetize the Spider Bomb to trade over the Vulgar Homunculus.
Super Bomb.
That's not awesome, though.
It's not awesome.
You'd like that bomb to be cubable.
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 We make up some fantastic words.
If Frid just plays the Sun Fury Protector here, though, it gets flanking striked.
Yeah, and
Vulgar Homunculus seems quite safe to me.
Spider Bombs are annoying, aren't they?
Yes.
Coin Giant, it's happening.
Oh my god, we have the technology.
It works.
Heavily considering between the Vulgar Homunculus or the Coin Spellbreaker. Vulgar Homunculus, you do want to save it for when you have the Spellstone, but it is worth playing here.
Egg's interesting, though, with Cube in hand. So Slim's really got to plan out his next few turns all the way to turn 8, I would say, with his hand.
Yeah, so considerations here. Magnetizing Spider Bomb and trading.
Mm-hmm.
Trading with Spider Bomb, playing a new Spider Bomb. Trading and playing Devilsaur Egg. I think that's about it. None of these play around Spellbreaker.
Yeah, only 1 card was kept, so Slim's got some calculations to do. I think he'll assume that's a Giant at this point.
Yeah, or a
Giant
Drake,
Frid's
I
kept
suppose.
back. Yeah. So he'll want to make sure there's a Spider Bomb available for that Giant. Obviously, it's going to work in his favor because there is a Giant. It's just not the card he's expecting it to be.
I don't know, Laurie, what would you do here?
I don't know, but it wouldn't be right. I think I just play the Egg and play it slow, to be honest. Give myself some options. Trade in, play the Egg. Give myself some sort of cube setup, depending on what I draw next turn. Double Flanking Strike should protect me from most things.
There are quite a few Death Rattle activators in the deck Sirslim can find to pair with the Spider Bomb at some point.
Because Flanking Strike plus a 5/5 over time is a good way of dealing with a Giant, and you get to keep your Spider Bomb for emergencies on turn 7, where you can just Flanking Strike your own Spider Bomb even.
So Frid, if he Spellbreakers here, then the cube comes out.
Yeah.
I would like to see Frid just Giant into this.
If you're not going to Giant here, when are you going to Giant? Yeah, you've just seen a Spider Bomb leave the board. You've got 2 Giants. Force Sirslim to deal with them. No reason to tap into 10 cards.
No, that would be incorrect. Yeah, Frid knows it.
Yeah, the health total's not even close to 15. It's not even a thing to worry about. And I think your cube here, the numbers work out nicely for your 5 plus 3 is 8 to kill the giant.
Yeah.
Warlocks don't deal with 5/5s well without trading into them, and then it sets up your flanking strike nicely.
And then that almost certainly pulls out the Spellbreaker from Frid onto the Carnivorous Cube, but the 5/5 and the flanking strike go over. The cube goes over, and then Sirslim would be left with a 4/2 cube and a 3/3 wolf.
And he'll be 2 turns closer to Katharina.
Yes.
Which is the big deal.
That's the end goal. If the Katharina doesn't get silenced, bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Slim's game plan is fairly clear from this point. Frid, on the other hand, has got so many decisions to make over the next few turns. The old trade or face being one of many, but how does my 7/7 get activated? What do I Spellbreaker? What do I heal? When do I Hellfire? All these things are things he needs to work out in terms of damage.
Not straightforward whatsoever for him. I do think maybe the Spellbreaker's just not forced out this turn.
I mean, you're not that scared of 2 eggs. The damage has been done. The point of playing the cube is to make this 5/5. The eggs, followed by later activate the eggs, is not really a thing that is that scary. It feels scary, but it just isn't.
The thing is, I think Frid's afraid. I think Frid is a player who...
He's a Frid.
He's a Frid. No, I just think he's a little bit less experienced here. So
Yes.
the immediate gut reaction is to silence the cube.
Yeah.
But how scary really are those eggs? It's not Devil Sores in the cube. I think I would have liked to see probably just Giant plus Plated Beetle this turn, or Giant Sun Fury.
Yeah, I agree on both. One or that, I agree on either, but...
I think this is a small missed opportunity for Frid to deal some additional damage. I like that trade there,
That's
however.
a good trade. That's protecting against the thing we can see is going to happen, the flanking strike. And maybe now he is thinking of Sun Furying the 4/3 to protect his giant.
That's what it looked like, yes. Sirslim finds Charged Devil Sword. That's not a good draw.
And you're right, he's feeling this. You can just tell from looking at him that he's happily enjoying the nervousness of the situation.
It's so much adrenaline running through you, but it's terrifying and it feels good at the same time.
Yeah, I can picture that
It's
entirely.
scary as hell. The straightforward play is trade the Devil Sword, flank the Spellbreaker. I think that's just what Sirslim's got to do.
Yeah, you don't want to put them down to 17. I don't think you really want to hook Reaver in the way. You're fine. He's got flanking spike, Spider Bomb for emergencies next turn. Definitely worth considering whether to put the damage into face, especially when I hear that his older sister bullied him last time he traded too much.
No, there were no hooked Reavers on the other end last time. Very
He looks
world
up at the
we're living
camera after making the trade.
in. And now there's 2 hooked Reavers on the other side, so...
Cool, was this right? No, he seems to be doing very well with controlling himself here.
He's doing okay. I think Frid's going Plated Beetle here. So Sirslim can just trade over Spider Bomb Flanking Strike to kill the Mountain Giant, unless he picks up, of course, Terror Scale Stalker or Play Dead, in which case those are vastly better.
It's funny when you're under that sort of pressure how the 75 seconds that's torturing everybody in chat for every turn turns
Nice
into like
by Frid.
3 seconds. Like
It's a 50-50
the
now.
time just goes. Yeah, and you're right. It's
I like
setting up-
this.
yeah, I think this is good. He thought about it last turn and he saved it for this turn.
Okay, the Hunter's Mark will allow Sirslim to make quick work of the Giant, however, with the Flanking Strike, and hold the Spider Bomb for whenever he finds Terror Scale or Play Dead.
I wonder.
Yeah, this is looking pretty tasty here for Sirslim.
Frid wants to get down to 15 as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah,
But with Charged Devil Sword to kill a Hooked Reaver, and Katharina and Spider Bomb still in hand for Sirslim,
Just speed bumps.
Frid's gonna need to find Gul'dan.
Turn 7, I go on about it so much, but it's so grim for Evenlock. You have so many bad turn 7s. It's where you've used all your big stuff already if you had it. and you're down to this stuff that doesn't even add up to 7 properly, that isn't very big, it's usually the worst turn of the game for the Warlock.
But on the other side of the rainbow is turn 8. And turn 8 for the Warlock is fantastic. That's usually when they've got, you know, Giant Drake or double active Hook Reavers, but Frid's just still a little bit too high on health total.
Yeah, but Slim's going to have as well all this good stuff happening. And that's good stuff.
Oof. Well, now Frid's got, or Sirslim's got a choice to make.
Yeah, it's so much damage, you've got to give it serious consideration. But he does have very little way of dealing with the 7/7s. I mean, he can deal with them, but it will use resources. Yeah, he's just going to smack it into the face.
He's just shipping it.
He's got the Devil Sword next turn. Katrina plus a 3/3. There is plenty to deal with double Reaver.
Yeah. Double Hooked Reaver is the best that Frid's got.
I don't think it's enough. The King Crush deals with one, the Devil Sword deals with another, and then the residual bits and pieces on the board will just get the 8 damage through, unless it's a Grizzly plus the 3/3, I guess.
He's going to be looking for... Well, you know, honestly, I like trade the Gan over the King Crush, Hellfire, then you probably Hooked Reaver. And if there's no Devil Soar or Spider Bomb plus Death Rattle Activator in the hand, then maybe you can come back from it.
The other problem is you've lost 2 Giants, you've lost 2 Reavers. You don't have a whole lot to win the game with after that. You just have your Gul'dan left, and all the time this Hunter deck's piling on more pressure.
I don't think getting into the Katrina ever wins you the game.
I don't think any of this wins you the game, to be honest.
Well, this, in theory, saves Frid. And actually, in practice, it also saves Frid.
For now.
That's a 66%. Well, no. Actually, yeah, that's just 66% to win the game with the hero power.
Can you make it better? I think it's a 66%, 67 actually.
Apologies.
Just trying to work out if there's any other way.
But if you take the Spider Bomb Terror Scale and it hits the Gen, does that...
Even if it hits a 7/7, you've only got 6 to face.
Well, plus the hero power.
That's 8. That'd be lethal.
Yeah.
I've gone to the orange school of hero powering as Hunter.
He's going for it. 2/3 of the time, this wins the game.
And if it misses, it probably wins the game anyway.
He gets it.
2-1 to Sirslim in this battle of players at the top of the Swiss. The winner of this will be 4-0 and have the job pretty much halfway done.
Yeah, that would be an incredible first day. 4-1 or 5-0 going into day 2 means you just need to pick up 2 or 3 wins, and also getting those wins early on. So winning out the first day means that your tiebreakers are going to be that much better.
Yeah, it really does. All the people you've played against have got 0 or 1 loss themselves against their other opponents. And it does just make life so much easier. We talk about it a lot, but it does matter. Just looking through the list, Tars is 3-1. He hasn't played since Dreamhack Tour.
Okay.
Perennial, for the longest time, the most match wins in Dreamhacks until he took a bit of a quieter year. Hope we get to see more of Tars as this goes on. He's always pretty entertaining.
He's a fun one to watch. We were supposed to see him last round, actually, or 2 rounds ago, excuse me. But the match between Monsanto and Seiko went so long that by the time we were going to go to the second series, Muzzy had already beaten Tars. So that's where Tars got his single loss.
Psycho 3-1, he's fighting back. Pizza 3-1, one of the fan favorites, I should think, here in Atlanta.
Great guy. He's a great guy.
Fantastic stream if you ever get to see Pizza's stream. So laid back, but he does it without holding back. If he's got something to say, he'll say it, but he doesn't get like angry and nasty about it. He says, yeah, I think this thing sucks a bit.
He's just opinionated.
Just
There's
moves
nothing
on.
wrong with
but
that.
He's opinionated in a friendly, fun way.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't just like ruin everyone's experience by his opinions, which I love about Pizza.
Death Rattle, Hunter, Mirror for game number 4. Match point for Sirslim. Taking a look at differences between the 2 decks. Not seeing a whole lot.
So Slim's kept an egg here, meaning he wants to go for the early beats, which is obviously a decent way forward.
It's actually card for card the exact same deck.
Awesome.
Yep.
Katrina, obviously the card you want, but Rexar's pretty good, Egg's pretty good, and Frid just going to go for more stuff.
He really considered that for quite a while. Ends up finding the Rexar, no Devilsaur Egg for Frid, and there's a Keleseth on Sirslim's side.
That's a good card in the mirror. And it's sort of like the third or second best card. I think Katrina's first, then Keleseth, but it's really tight at the top there. Then all your eggs and activates are very high too.
Yeah, Keleseth's in this deck not so much because you need the Keleseth buff, but because there's nothing you'd rather play in the 2 slot.
People tried Pyromancer for the longest time, and it just didn't really do anything. And it is nice having your eggs able to attack. It does make a difference.
The Pyromancer clashes with the overall goal of the deck, I feel.
Yeah.
Keleseth, you know, he's not a necessity like he is in Zoo, but he's nice to have. Frid gonna try to check this. Houndmaster Shaw.
And now it's decision time for Slim. How does he want to go about this? You don't really want that Shaw to live, but
Hunter's Mark feels like an overreaction a little bit.
It does. You've got 3 12s you need to get through quickly later on, and possibly multiples of them. But anytime someone doesn't react to Houndmaster Shaw, and as casters we say, oh, it's an overreaction,
but
bad things happen every time.
Yeah.
The fact it's been coined out, I think helps Sirslim make the decision a little bit. There's going to be no cube naughtiness next turn. So he does sort of have 1 turn with which to breathe a little.
If Sirslim's not playing Houndmaster Shaw, I think this turn begins with tracking.
Yep, that's where he's going to go.
Playdead is a 5/5.
Yeah.
And he already has...
He set his stall out in the mulligan when he kept the egg that this is the version of the deck he needs to play.
So this is going to be Keleseth over the Shaw.
And this is fine now because he's going to have that 5/5, I think. Then the Keleseth no longer feels that bad.
Oh.
Because now he has his own Shaw and Playdead next turn, and that just deals with anything that Frid can do.
Oh, Frid. Okay.
And I like this. Normally, I think, as a general rule, which is the worst words in Hearthstone, the words general rule, you shouldn't kill eggs. But when your opponent is just tracking, having kept an egg in their mulligan, I think actually you can assume they're on the use my egg strategy. So I actually don't mind it on this occasion.
Holding the Playdead for the Shaw turn makes sense. I wonder if it's maybe a little greedy. If Sirslim should have just gone for the Playdead that turn to get the extra Devilsaur.
Yeah, he kind of had to kill the Shaw, I think.
He did have to kill the Shaw, but he didn't have to hero power.
He didn't. This is fair. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's fair to get the 5/5 early.
Could just be 5 extra damage. Looking like Frid's gonna go Spider Bomb Playdead. Sirslim is on Deathstalker Rexar turn, however. And things can definitely change when you get Rexar down.
They can.
Suddenly the game looks a whole lot different. You're racing towards Kathrina normally. When Rexar's in, well, now you've got something default to do every turn.
Yeah, you don't have to Rexar here. If you feel your pressure's good enough, which it probably isn't, you can just keep making stuff depending on your top decks. Just keep the pressure on and use Rexar as a filler rather than a value card later on.
The Spider Bomb on the board.
Yeah, I think this
So
now
annoying.
becomes a Rexar. Oh, this now just becomes a Rexar turn, I feel. Take the value trade. Ugh.
Do you want to miss the 4 damage? That feels kind of bad.
This Spider Bomb is such a mess that I think you have to hit Rexar now. I think it takes away any question of what you might want to do otherwise.
I agree.
Not that there is always much question, but it is worth... Sometimes you can keep the hero power, start playing minions, and just kill them until they die from it.
It is rough losing the Grizzly that turn.
But Frid here not falling into the trap of playing his own Rexar, realizing there's an opportunity to get a whole chunk of tempo whilst my opponent's messing around making beasts.
Nah, you don't want to play Rexar if you don't have to. If Frid does play one more minion, though, Mind Control tech's online.
Sirslim's got his own issues now. He really wants to hold this Mind Control tech back, but actually playing Shaw and just using the MC tech as a trading mechanism looks kind of okay with Katharina coming in a turn or two.
Only way that Frid kills it is with a Candle Shot or the Rexar or a second Spider Bomb.
Grizzly and Hero Power is another strong play this turn.
I think I like Grizzly Hero Power. The Grizzly is a 4/9. I want to see the Hero Power first.
Yeah, when he
He's
makes
gonna
that
have
decision,
to-
he has to Hero Power first.
Yeah, he's got to go. He's running out of time.
Yeah, he's chilled. He's from the delay school of timing out.
No chill.
There's two people in your family that I can see from where I'm sat, and one of them's really chill right now.
Freaking Hero Power stage.
The other one's casting again.
Kill the dang beast. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine.
I'm getting so scared here in this cast.
Pick a beast. It's all good.
Yeah, plenty of time, see?
Everything is fine. All is happy.
I do feel these are two players that are playing close to the top of their ability. Yeah.
I agree. I think Frid is playing quite well. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Like his decisions, he seems to be getting the consideration and the timing down. One or two things we didn't agree with, that doesn't necessarily mean that's not the best of his ability all the time, or even if they're wrong.
So this is the Rexar turn for Frid. It's turn 8. Slim's going to play Katharina. Might get punished by Spider Bomb Carnivorous Cube, but
That's a lot
That's
of
just-
resources from Frid.
yeah,
I feel that even
it's a
this...
9/9.
Yay!
If the Spider Bomb kills the Katharina, Sirslim gets another big threat. And if it kills the King Crush, there's a Katharina on the board.
Yeah, and look at this
with
hand.
a play dead.
This reload, even if somehow Frid deals with all this stuff, the hand is powerful enough to reload with... He's going to win the battle of the leftover cards.
Frid is so close. He's
Really
so
is.
close.
Yeah.
The Spider Bomb Cube is almost good enough. But it's because he had to play the Rexar that turn. If he could have developed something else, he'd be able to check this Katharina better.
Yeah, he's always been half a turn behind.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is Slim had Keliseth and Katharina on 8.
Yeah.
Frid's got Keliseth on 8 and no Katharina.
Well, he's just hunting here. I think, again, this is good recognition from Frid that I'm in too much trouble. The called plays, whilst they will delay the game, aren't going to win me it. So he went looking for something to win the game, didn't find it.
Yeah.
And that's going to result in Sirslim being in just Houndmaster Shaw is good territory.
I believe the only beast left in the deck is Charged Devilsaur, which is an 8/8. Oh, that's a cube play dead on your King Crush. That's lethal. Sirslim in his 3rd streamed match so far in his Dreamhack career, finally picking up his first win. He's going to be going to a 4-0 record. Frid is not out of this at all. And I really mean it when I say you could not have a nicer guy than Frid. He's